Hello and welcome to another update video about Litecoin. So Litecoin has reached the next target range here. Remember that we talked about this current correction to be a potential wave 2. Oops. And we defined our, come on, where's the wave 2? It's hidden here. There you go. That's what I wanted to grab, the wave 2, yeah. And the idea was to get at least into the support zone, at least to the 50% retracement. That yesterday's price drop has achieved that. So looking at the bigger picture, there is at least a likelihood that the move up was in 5 waves and the move down in basically 3 so far. You know, it could develop a 3-wave structure. What we essentially want always is to identify 5 waves into the trend direction. So it could very much be that this 5-wave move that occurred between June last year and July this year was a wave 1. So we're now heading into an area where reward and risk is potentially favorable again. Basically an ABC correction in a wave 2. A wave 1 is typically the first wave of such a trend, basically the uptrend. So that means there is a potential that Litecoin completed the bear market already in June 22. We've been counting that as a 5-wave move now for many months since last year. And we're now looking for this wave 2 correction. We had this descending price channel on the chart. Be aware that this descending price channel is still active. It never broke to the upside, so price is still expected to follow it. I explained to you before already that a first signal that this correction is over would be a break to the upside of the corrective price channel. We were expecting lower prices still. I did expect, however, or not expect necessarily, but I explored the idea of a higher wave 2 pullback because I found that more likely on the microstructure here. However, the fact that it broke through this support level, which was at $80, and you can see what kind of avalanche that started, indicates that probably here the micro count was not correct. So let's correct that in this video. Is more aligned with Bitcoin, Ethereum then as well. So it makes sense. My best read is, so before I had here a wave down, you have sideways B wave as a triangle, and then a C wave down. So we still expected lower prices anyway. So from that point of view, it's the same thing basically. It just corrects some of the microstructures and helps us to identify where Litecoin could put in a lasting low. Looking at the latest action, I find it more likely to put the B wave here, yeah, and then that we are still in the C wave obviously, but I would have to change the micro structure. I also gave you resistance, by the way, which I can take now off the chart. The idea was that as long as we stay below $91.58, the focus can be on lower. That would typically be the level against which you can, let's say, measure your short risk. Okay, so it would have taken a break above 91.58, a sustained break, to basically indicate that we go back to the upside. So in that case, you know, you could have focused on the downside against that level. That's typically the message of these resistances, but we take that out now. And on the micro level, it seems more likely that we already completed a wave 1. Let me think here, yeah. Then we had a wave 2 top in place here on the, there was $95 on the 30th of July. Then probably a third wave bottomed here. Not really ideally long enough, but acceptable. And then, yes, we were looking here at some kind of a sideways corrective structure, and it was one, but probably a triangle in wave 4. Yeah. Yeah, here. Okay, a wave 4 triangle, and we could indeed be in the wave 5 now. And within the wave 5, and that's pretty much aligned with Bitcoin, we have obviously also a 5-wave move. Let's just count the triangle, just figure out where we are. Let me think if I've got the triangle actually correct. No, it needs to sit here, and then triangle micro count is always A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, yeah, D, E. So this was the end of the triangle. And then, yeah, okay, see. And Bitcoin's price, for example, we expect another lower high and another lower low. So also here, pretty much potentially the same situation. Just be aware these micro counts, especially when we deal with altcoins, they just change more frequently. It's potentially dangerous to focus here on micro counting. It's often better just to focus on the relevant parameters, but obviously in these videos, also for let's call it learning purposes, entertainment purposes, we also add the relevant micro counts usually, but it is potentially dangerous, which is why I always say be aware, especially altcoins. Structures are more fragile, they can break more frequently, especially when you try to trade every single subwave. There's a reason why people call the altcoin market more risky, crypto generally risky, because it's much more volatile. But still, we can use the system here to track the structures. And I think we are getting towards the end of this move down. Looking at the indicators, yeah, the 4-hour chart is, I mean, massively oversold. It came down to 10 yesterday. I can't recall. I mean, it's been a while. If it ever was that much oversold, I don't know. But that's crazy. Let's look at the daily chart. It's oversold on the daily. So that typically also on the Litecoin chart is a signal that at least a corrective rally is coming. Yeah. So we are now in the yellow support area. Bullish support is $56.40, $56.40. And we've had a few situations where Litecoin was oversold on the daily here in March 23. That was a swing low. Here, not aggressively oversold, but it was quite oversold in May, rally. Oversold here on the daily in June, rally, and oversold again. So here as well, and here as well, which made another low, but it created a, it didn't come down much lower. So again, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but it's just a good signal that a low is near, a low is close. And I think now what we need to be watching is still for, so let me go to the 1-hour chart. First of all, a reliable signal that this move to the downside is over would probably be a break above the descending price channel, as we talked about, as we highlighted. Also here, this trend line, yeah, we used in the last video to understand, is there potential for upside? It never broke it, so the focus was actually not on higher. But now what we can do, we can track the structure to the downside and also add a micro resistance. Take that with a pinch of salt, but resistance is for this micro structure, wave 4 retracements, all the way up to $77.89. Yeah, so let's call it 78. As long as price stays below 78, we expect another low. An impulsive break above 78 would indicate that a low could be in, but I would want extended evidence by seeing a break above the descending price channel as well to confirm. That's my update about Litecoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.